And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to a show about shows. It's a show where we talk about some shows. I'm one of the hosts, Jordan Pearson, along with my man, as always, Dutch.
Hey, I'm all the way in my hidden bunker in Tampa, Florida, but I'm here for this show because that's how much of a professional I choose to be.
Oh, yeah, you do have a different background. No Quixote or other weird things behind you. Slightly
No,
less
no,
things behind you.
stuff, yeah, but, a lot less
We
stuff.
got a recurring guest here. How many times has this been? He's the current trivia champion. He defeated Dutch on the premiere episode of a show about trivia. I think it was 14 and 12, something like that, or 16 and 14.
Yeah, it was a 2-point game.
There's a 2-point lead. He's the current champion until he faces this guy. He's the host of Am I on the Air? Ladies and gentlemen, DonMega.
What up? What up? Happy to be back talking about some shows because, that's what my show talks about every week. So might as well do it again.
Might as well do some more shows. This is episode 55, an offer you can't refuse, July 11th of 2020. We're going to talk about our top 10 favorite shows of the year so far. We're at the halfway point, so we're going to talk about what we're enjoying so far this year. We got some recent reviews. Theaters are shut down, but that doesn't mean Hulu and Netflix and Amazon, etc. aren't, because they all have some new offerings this week, and we'll be talking about that as well. Dutch, you want to kick it off, or who wants to kick off that first review?
You can go ahead and kick it off. I'll hit the next one.
All right, one that I was been very much anticipating. We got Palm Springs, when carefree Niles and reluctant maid of honor Sarah have a chance encounter at a Palm Springs wedding. Things get complicated as they are unable to escape the venue, themselves, or each other. This stars Andy Samberg, Kristen Milioti, J.K. Simmons, Tyler Hoechlin, Peter Gallagher, and June Squibb. This is premiered just yesterday on Hulu. I know me and my bro saw Dutch. Did you get a chance to see this?
Yeah, of course I did. I enjoyed the hell out of this film. I'm just going to jump right in on all over you. How's that? But yeah, this film to me, I went in with kind of lower expectations. I always do whenever I walk into an Adam Sandberg movie for some reason. Don't know why.
Who's Adam Sandberg? I don't know who Adam Sandberg is.
Is it not Sandberg? It's not Samberg?
Andy.
Andy. Sandberg, nonetheless. Anyway. Okay, I walk in with low levels because I can't remember his name. But anyway, so I go in, I watch this film, and it turns out I found myself laughing throughout the whole entire process. It was a great take on the Groundhog experience. The chemistry between the two is unbelievably crisp. I loved J.K. Simmons. Part is I think it was named Pete in this film. Pete Scott, he was the cop. But yeah, he brought a little bit of fun to that role. And I just, for what it's worth, I thought it was probably one of the better Hulu productions for movies this year.
Yeah, I mean, sentiments pretty much agreed here. I think all three of us are going to give this a favorable review from what I know. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. This made a lot of money at, what was it, Sundance? This was the #1 biggest bought movie over. They got an extra 69 cents because get it, 69. And this was produced by all Lonely Island boys, all three of them. And yeah, I dig it, man. I've always liked that Groundhog's Day trope when they can do it right. This has an R-rated tinge to it. They earned that R rating in the first couple of minutes of the movie here. As you said, the chemistry between these two, and J.K. Simmons doing what he does best. He actually has kind of a bit of a turn in the movie where at first he's kind of vicious, and later on he has a really great sentimental moment, and he pulls it off perfectly here. So yeah, I had fun. Sandberg, I think, is fantastic in this. I don't know, his dance sequence at the beginning, everything just had me cracking up with this here. Milioti from The Mother and How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, I really dug this as well. Don, what did you think of Palm Springs?
Yeah, I agree, man. 3 for 3. I absolutely love this movie. We watched it last night, and I was super engaged. It was hilarious. It was the kind of comedy I like. I was hoping when I saw the trailer that this wasn't going to be like Happy Death Day or anything. Like, it wasn't going to be this big redundant kind of time loop. But I like what they did with it. I liked when they leaned into it. I liked that whole section where when she started to get used to it and they were just having fun with it every day, messing with people, the bomb in the wedding cake, and she comes out with like a pirate and, they're going to the bar and doing the dance and just having a blast with this because it didn't matter. And I thought the movie had a ton of heart. It was hilarious. I love the chemistry between the two leads. I love Andy Samberg, love Lonely Island, so it was cool to see it be their production, them putting it together. I mean, this movie is something I've been looking forward to for months since the trailer dropped, and so glad I checked it out last night. It's been my movie that so far in the last 24 hours I've been trying to like shout out to everybody, like, hey, you need to jump on Hulu and watch this movie. Just a ton of fun. My wife loved it as well, and I'll definitely probably watch this one again here pretty soon. So I'm happy Hulu acquired it. Good on them because they needed something real hot, because I feel like the Hulu original movies have been kind of just, B fodder that nobody wants, and they just kind of slapped their name on it, whereas this was like that true, Sundance,
I'm reviewing one in a moment, so don't worry. I got some Hulu.
I'm sure you are. Your 2003 Little Kitty movie called Good Boy.
But no one's going to get. That's a weird joke. You don't get it, Dutch. Why are you laughing? You don't even get the joke.
I just saw the movie and I didn't really like the premise, so take care.
No, but you don't get the joke. Whatever.
You know what? I can enjoy the camaraderie you two have. Can I not do that from a distance?
Exactly.
I'm not being selfish. I can enjoy your joy.
I'll explain later, but
okay.
Yeah, but no, just Palm Springs, man. Can't recommend it enough. I think everybody should check it out. I would give it 4 out of 5 stars, man. I really, really dug it.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, yeah. You, me, you. No, I'm gonna go ahead and just concur, jump on that train, giving it 4 out of 5.
I'm the same, 4. So yeah, it was a hit all around. It was just a great romantic comedy as well. So that it just hits every wheelhouse that you can want to hit in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the next film we come out is a typical Wednesday. Gabe sees his therapist every Wednesday. Therapy takes on a turn when another patient is left behind at the therapist's office, and they go on a misadventure to get him home, all while running into the odd characters in Gabe's life who are helping him get over his last breakup. This stars Jay Lee, Emmy Raver, Seth Green, and Michael Ealy. So, Jordan, you watched this, correct? So, tell me what's going on with this film.
Of course he did.
What? What'd you say, Mega?
No, he said, Jordan, you watched this. I said, of course he did.
Yeah.
Jordan will watch anything.
if it's a weird foreign film or a rom-com, it's Dutch. If it's a directed-DVD, weird Hulu, VOD, it's me. If it's a horrible Michael Bay movie, it's you. We all have our tropes, so, say what you will.
He means if it's an awesome Michael Bay movie. Then
if it was the 90s, sure.
Call me when that actually happens again. So just
it's been since early 2000s.
6 Underground, baby. 6 Underground. You can watch it right now. Netflix.
We have John Carpenter the Thing going on downstairs. So.
Oh, that's an actual. Wait, never mind. We're off the rails here.
Right, let's talk about this new Seth Green classic. Let's go.
Hey, man.
A typical Wednesday. Tell me, was it a typical movie or was it a atypical movie?
No, I do like Seth Green. That's why I watched it. I'm a big Seth Green fan. We're out there, man. We're out there. So yeah, this is the dude from the Orville. He actually wrote and directed this as well here. I forgot. In the premise here, he helps kind of the kid try to get him back home, and there's stuff you find out about the characters. There's a little bit of a nice relationship here. He's kind of one note throughout the movie, and his character does kind of borderline both one note and also a little annoying at sometimes. Like he's getting into these arguments with his ex, and you definitely decide with the ex a lot more than you do with him, which is odd when you're coming from his point of view here and whatnot here. So it's a little stretched. It's all right. It does have its moments though. It's a sweet but simple movie here. Michael Ealy's pretty good as the therapist, and that leaves you on there's a funny end note with him at the end of the movie here. So it's a little typical. Yeah, it's a little typical, and that's why it gets 2.5 stars from me.
So this was not. What was the last one that he put out? The Seth Green with Breckenmeyer. What was the name of that one?
James, that one I like more, and you like that too.
Well, I did too. That's what I'm saying. So it's nothing to really rush out to see, but it's watchable.
Coming up next, a new movie that just dropped on the Netflix. It's The Old Guard, a group of mercenaries, all centuries old immortals with the ability to heal themselves, discover someone is onto their secret, and they must fight to protect their freedom. This stars Charlize Theron, Kiki Lane, Matthias Schoenaerts, Moran Kanzari, Luca Marinelli, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Harry Melling.
Okay. I actually watched this late last night, and it's a great paint by numbers action film. It's just perfectly paced. It has a great story. It goes back, they try to cover as much as they possibly can to get you to actually care about the characters, which is kind of lacking in some superhero film. I'm not saying for Marvel because they actually give you a backstory, but I'm talking about DC movies where you can't really get a lot of a backstory compared to these. And they're not your normal superheroes, of course. Their superpower is coming back from the dead, but they're also helping time as it goes across the universe. Charlize Theron as is to me going to be one of if she wanted to stick with action, she could draw him in. She is that good, as we all know, of an actress, but also great in action. The young lady to the in the West that was. Kiki Lane, she shows that she's well worthy of being the co-star of this action genre, and this is the only time you ever watch an after credit film or just an extra post scene or something like that, and you really can't wait to watch the sequel. So I enjoyed this watch a lot. Any of you guys watch it? Don, did you get a chance yet?
I've not had a chance yet. I was going to maybe last night and then decided to go with Palm Springs. So that is on the agenda for tonight. That is tonight's movie of the night. So I'm looking forward to it. I love the trailers. I know it's based on the graphic novel, and I've heard nothing but great things about the novel. So super stoked to check it out. I had another buddy watch it and text me earlier and say it was really, really good. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll see it tonight.
Yeah,
I saw this about 10 minutes ago. I finished it right before we finished up. And I'm not as high on it as Dutch. It's good. It's very serviceable. Some decent action here. I just never was that invested in the characters. And even the setup at the end for the sequel, I was like, oh, okay. Before they, revealed it, I was kind of figuring out where they're going to go with it. I think it's very serviceable. It reminded me a little bit of Extraction to a degree of just, it's good. It's going to pass the time. You're going to enjoy it. But I don't know. I was never that invested. It's very one note throughout all of it here. No one's really having fun. Not that that's necessarily needed, but I don't know. There's something in it missing. Even like you said, Kiki Lane, you thought she did really good. She does fine, but there's just nothing to the character though I felt with her to a large degree. And so I thought it was good, serviceable, but it never hooked me.
Well, it would have gotten a higher rating had it not been for the last scene at the end of the film. I'm not going to ruin it because Don's not seen it yet, so I'm going to be good with that. But the last scene, it just kind of disappointed me. I'll tell you off the air, Jordan, about that scene. But that's the reason why I'm only giving it 3.5. It could have gone 4 if they just that one last part of the scene. And Don, you'll probably notice it too. It's just so glaring and shaking of your head at the end. But it's other than that, I gave it 3.5.
Yeah, I'm not far off. I'm giving it just a solid 3. Like I said, it's right in that kind of Extraction. Like it's a good action flick. I don't mind the story here. Everyone's basically Deadpool. They can't die. But I don't know, just something with the writing and the characters where I just wasn't really invested. And at the end, it's one of those you left kind of like, okay, you know what I mean? I'm not gung ho for a sequel. I'm not against it, but I'm not gung ho either.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm, so we're gonna leave one old guard for a family called the Willoughbys. When the 4 Willoughby children are abandoned by their selfish parents, they must learn how to adapt their old-fashioned values to the contemporary world in order to create something new. The Modern Family. This has the voice actors of Alisa Cara, Will Forte, Ricky Gervais, Maya Rudolph, Martin Short, Jane Krakowski, and Terry Crews. I reviewed this earlier this year. You finally got around to see it. So, what are your beliefs on this film?
Yeah, I just saw this week here as well, and I dig the animation style. It's slightly different. It's fun. It's vibrant here. The story at times wasn't always vibrant, and that's kind of what drug me off. It reminded me a little bit of Lemony Snicket here, where all these things are happening to the kids again and again. I don't know. You're either in it or you're not, and I wasn't always in it, and I was ready for the foregone conclusion to come to us here though. But it's sweet. I dig Ricky Gervais as the cat. Little girl does have your heart a little bit here as well here. So, Don, did you ever see this? What was your thoughts? You got a kid.
Nope, looked like shit. Never wanted to give it any time. So
Well, Don's heart was definitely not grabbed by this film. I
I,
don't know.
I just the animation style is a big one that's gonna suck me in, and this
Really?
was stupid as shit from day one. And I was just like, nope, I'm out.
That's you're so weird sometimes. I get stupid as shit. What?
Look at it. Look at this fucking dude next to your head. Stupid as shit.
It's the family trait. They have big ears, so that's one of the traits besides the
No,
mustache.
I showed my daughter the trailer, and she was like, "I'm good." So
Was your daughter like stupid as shit?
well, basically, by her saying "I'm good" for a cartoon movie, that was enough for me to say "stupid as shit." So, I'm good.
Well, I liked it more than he did. I'm going to give it an even higher score than the last one. I'm going to say 3.5 for this.
Oh, I see. I didn't give it that high of a score, but
What'd you do? What'd you say, 3?
I believe I gave it a 3. I just thought it was a good, solid effort.
We flipped on the last two.
Yeah. So the next one is 7,500.
All right, and now we got a repeat for you here. I reviewed this last week or the week before.
Last week.
Let's
Yeah.
see what you got
Last
here.
week.
500. Tobias Ellis starts his shift as a co-pilot, and everything seems normal. But things quickly take a turn when terrorists storm the cockpit of his Airbus A319 and hijack the plane. This stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt, JGL, my boy Omen Mamar, Carlo Kitzlinger, and Alan Tizzle. Now,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's all you had to say. Let's move on.
oh,
Nobody knows anybody else in this.
I don't see.
Look,
I
Nobody
don't
knows
care.
anyone
I
else
want
in
to
this
show
film.
respect to the other actors here, Don. They worked hard, okay?
I don't know. The poster
No,
just says
I'm a very-
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So
And then on the bottom it says more people.
J. Gordon-Levitt to me is a very good actor. He's one of our standard bearers
Right.
now for great independent type acting, because we need something like that nowadays. But yes, I believe though this movie, it started out pretty well. It just eased into it. The dialogue was very conversational. I love that about it. It was like everyday speak. But then you have all of a sudden this little sub underlying portion that his girlfriend, who is also as his mom, works. They finally cross shifts after all these, I guess, months of working for this airline in Germany. Then things take for a change for the worse when you have 4 guys decide to hijack the plane, and 2 force their way into the cockpit. And let's just say madness ensues. And to me, it was a very thrilling ride in the air. Maybe nervous, even on the takeoff scene. The takeoff scene, I hate flying to begin with, but look at that. It's like doppelgangers down below.
Yeah.
But
after he fixes his glasses.
yeah. There you go. But so it was to me, it was a great, almost like a one-act man's play, of courage behind the stick, and trying to do the right thing at the same time, but also trying to protect the lives of others. But again, it did fall apart a little, especially during the scenes where somebody comes back and I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil something for some people if that's all right, because this is the only gripe I had with the film. If this is all right. Yes, it is, because
Right.
one of the guys who stormed the cockpit is left alive. That does play in later, but the point is, in real life, you would have killed him. That's all I would say. You would completely have gotten rid of that guy because he was a threat in your environment.
You would have.
No, you probably would have.
You probably would have. Not everybody.
No.
Trust
me. I'm just saying that would not have probably been the case at that time. So You just quit that down, Chachi. I listened to your
Just saying
dreadful
for
review.
you.
But
You can't gripe it because you personally disagreed with it. That's
no,
all.
no. What I'm saying is that's really the only gripe that I had in this whole film. I enjoyed the ride. I gave this a good review to the point in which the only thing I had to knock was keeping him alive. I gave it a good solid 3, which is actually a very good review for this Amazon Prime attempt.
Now,
And,
Don, I know you
you know,
saw this. Hold on, I want to get Don's review on this because Don's about to kill our 3s.
You ready?
Yeah.
Stupid as shit. Once again. Yeah, this is what a big disappointment. One of the worst movies of the year. I hated this fucking movie. And I would give it 1 star out of 5. It was boring. It was so boring. This was a movie that should have been over in 30 minutes, not an hour and 45. It was way too long. There was nothing going on in this movie. It was so bad. And I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I dug the trailer. They tricked me enough to be like, "Ooh, I'm excited to watch 7500." And yeah, it was a massive letdown. My wife begged me to turn this thing off after 15 minutes. I said, "No, we will finish this movie." And at the end, I had to apologize and say, "Yes, we should have shut this fucking thing off when you said we should have." So, horrible film. I implore no one to watch this film and stay far away from 7500.
I implore you, if you do have Amazon Prime, there's no reason not to say watch it.
Do not waste the time.
You've already wasted your money. Just get in there and watch it.
Yes, you wasted your money, but watch something else on Prime. Go watch Upload.
We'll have you back for our top 10 worst movies of the year at the end of the year. See where this ranks.
7500, man. Woo.
All right, next up is it's not a movie from the year 2003 that was a PG dog talking movie. It's Good Boy from Hulu. When Maggie gets an emotional support dog to help quell some of her anxiety, she finds him to be even more effective than she imagined because unbeknownst to her, he kills anyone who adds stress to her life. This stars Judy Greer, McKinley Freeman, Ellen Wong, and of course, everyone's favorite, Steve Guttenberg.
I'm glad Gutenberg's getting work.
Oh.
I'm just so happy.
There's Jordan, checked in on Facebook. It's a good boy.
Good
Good
job.
boy.
Good job, good boy.
All little doggies. we were flipping through Facebook last night, and me and my wife were like, "Why is Jordan watching this little kid with his dog movie from 2003?" And
He's doing
I'm
research.
glad, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him because he just loves to watch whatever. But you know, I did remember the Hulu movies, so I was glad when you corrected and said, but you should have caught that yourself when you posted that. So that's why
I did, and then I just didn't care, and I was like, that's fine. People are watching the 2003 dog movie.
Yeah, that's why I usually don't post what I'm watching from Facebook and just do it from track, because it's just Facebook is really slim pickings when it comes to the official check-in. You know, unless it's a big blockbuster movie, there's usually not much of a direct check-in link to post. So I couldn't find Palm Springs last night either.
And then sometimes you accidentally check into a 2003 dog movie.
And speaking of a dog movie, that is not behind you, the dog movie. That is still Palm Springs.
I didn't do enough research, so I went back to Palm Springs.
Is it that bad of a movie that you didn't even want to put a still up behind you?
I gave up. No, I was running
Seth
late.
Green got his own still.
Yeah.
but
what about the
not
Good
Boy?
I'm out of stills for the night. So Good Boy, not the movie behind me. You know what? It probably would have gotten the same review as that 2003 dog movie, because this was okay. I like Judy Greer a lot. She's probably one of the things that elevated this a little bit here. This reminded me of, anyone seen Milo from a few years ago about the Fun Monster? It's very much, it 100% reminded me of that. It's just whenever, you got your own still. There you go. So you can be our guy. So this is also from the Hulu, like monthly Into the Dark horror series. Every month Hulu comes out with a new horror film, and
it's their Blumhouse deal.
Blumhouse, which was sad because so far I've never seen any one of these on Hulu that I've given a big review to here. Like tops, I think maybe a 3.
That's why they're on Hulu.
and that's kind of what
Blumhouse ain't giving their good shit to Hulu.
No, they're keeping their Invisible Man to themselves.
Because it really does 100% feel that way. It does feel like they get these movies and they go, all right, this is theater, give this to Hulu, let this quietly be on VOD. Like, because yeah, so far I've never seen anything that's been more than like a 3, and there's been a couple like 1.5ers as well here. This is in the middle here, because it's also weird too because this movie could have. I don't need gore, but in a movie like this, it would have prevented from it because instead it's just a lot of like when you finally get to the kills, it's a lot of like and then the next scene, and then you see maybe a quick shot of the body, like so it's even skimpers on that to a degree here, kind of leaving a little lukewarm. So yeah, it was fine. I'm battling between 2 and 2.5. Let's be honest, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 2 for Good Boy, who was just an okay boy, and also the last shot. I 100% also again called exactly where it was going to end, the very last shot.
Okay, so it's a movie on Hulu that we should just skip, is what you're trying to say.
Unless you love, I mean, some people like it more than I do if you're a horror fan, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll just skip it because I'm not a horror fan, so that'll be good. The next film we're going to talk about is another good movie, it sounds, The Good Liar. Career conman Roy sets his sights on his latest mark, recently widowed Betty, worth millions, and he means to take it all. But as the two draw closer, what could have been another simple swindle takes on the ultimate stakes. This stars Sarah McKellen, Helen Mirren, Jim Carter, and Russell Savoy. I didn't get a chance to see this, but I've been wanting to see it. I think it's on HBO at the moment. So tell me how this goes.
Yeah, so this is a really fun kind of con game between these two master actors here, McKellen, Mirren. I dug this, man. I like the little back and forth you're having here. It's great because McKellen has been, at least from what I've seen, X-Men, Lord of the Rings, always a supporting guy. So it's really great seeing him kind of sink his teeth into something here. And yeah, he's looking to just wipe this poor lady out. Like, even at one point his cohort goes like, you can leave her with something, and he goes, no, that's not the game. And then it continually unravels here. It's a little slow. If you're looking for a lot of really thriller moments here, you're not going to find it. It's very much like, again, you kind of mentioned before, this could be a stage play to a very large degree here. But I dug it here. It's a little pulpy. It's a little unbelievable, and it continues to get a little more unbelievable as it comes out. But it's fun. It's fun, unbelievability and pulpiness, if you will, here. So I dug it. I'm gonna say 4 stars. I like this thing.
Okay, I haven't had a chance to see it. I know Jim Carter is also the guy who played in The Butler in Downton Abbey. So if you're a big fan of that,
yeah, and he's good in this. I don't know that show, but he's good in this. I liked him a lot. He's the cohort. He's the other con guy that helps him.
Okay. So Don, did you get a chance to see this one or a while back? Or?
This movie did not look good to me at all. So.
Hold on, you're muted for some reason.
Yeah, you're kind of muted here.
Yeah.
I'm muted?
Yeah, you're low all of a sudden, and we both agree for some reason.
Yeah, you're muffled, it sounds like, on your end.
Yeah, you guys have been muffled for the last review. Hold on.
I don't know. I heard you perfectly the first part of the show, but now all of a sudden there's... It's like you got...
This is what happens when technology is a good thing when it works. Sometimes, the mics go out. I know mine.
But yeah, not my type of bag.
Yeah, I'll check it out though. Whenever I get a chance, when I get go home or whatever, and I'll try to find that somewhere on HBO. So we're not talking television. Television talk. I haven't seen the top 2 shows that you put on here, but I think this is a stand-up. Jim Jeffries' Intolerance on Netflix.
Yeah, Jim Jeffries, who I'm a big fan of, just released a new stand-up special, Intolerant. I've really liked some of his past specials here. This one is...
Oh, what's going on down there? Timeout time?
I just got skipped for movies. I was told I would go.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, guys. That's how you treat a guest. I love it. So real nice.
Pregnant pauses like that. I had to fill it.
Movies all night, and then just all right. Let's move on to TV.
well, pregnant pauses. I got a little nervous. We can't have a lot of dead silence on the air, so I apologize for that, Don. Go for it, my friend. You have
Um,
some movies that you have watched.
I do have a couple. I think you guys have pretty much probably touched upon most of these, so I'm gonna just real quickly, just some things I blazed through in the last couple weeks that I've talked about on my show. The other one is Eurovision, the new Will Ferrell comedy with Rachel McAdams. I really dug it. I thought it was awesome. I thought the music was cool. I thought the just a fun comedy that I would highly suggest to anybody that loves Will Ferrell and hasn't grown any tired of that stick, which I still love. So I would say check it out. I thought Rachel McAdams was incredible in it, so definitely check it out. I mean, at least for her. Dan Stevens was even really good in it as well. So I dug it. It's on Netflix. Check that out. I know a couple weeks ago on Amazon Prime, way better than 7500 was My Spy with Dave Bautista. Love that one. Good family flick. Me, my wife, my daughter able to sit down, watch this movie together. And I thought Bautista did an awesome job with it. The little girl was cute as hell. Fun little movie that really is aged, for that young kid kind of era, which I just, it was a good family time for us to sit down. We all really enjoyed it. So check that out on Amazon.
I want some quick ratings though, man. Give me some ratings here.
I mean, Eurovision, I would give 3 out of 5. My Spy, I'd probably go like 3.5 out of 5. And then I did check out I'm going to kind of loop it in the movie, but it's a stand-up special on Netflix, the new George Lopez comedy special. We'll Do It for Half, which I thought was super funny. Really dug it. One of his better specials. I know the last couple of years they've been kind of but this one was really funny, man. Me and my wife checked it out, and we were just cracking up the whole time. So if you like stand-up comedy, this one was really good. I got sucked into one of these Netflix sequels that were like, where did it come out from, that me and Jordan have talked about recently. Like he watched Bench Warmers 2 and like stuff like that. I don't know if he checked this one out, but I ended up for whatever reason torture myself with Undercover Brother 2 with Michael J. White. And
tell me,
woo, was that a bad one?
We talked about thinking about watching something like that, but I don't think we ever pulled the trigger yet. So yeah.
Well, see, I love the original Undercover Brother. That movie is funny. It's a good classic early 2000s comedy. But this one, man, it was horrible. I like Michael J. White, but he was not meant to be Undercover Brother. And they kind of sideline him for most of the movie. He's like in this coma, and then his actual brother like takes over for the most part of the film, which was not the way it's kind of positioned in the trailer, or to make it so they kind of swerve you there where they're like, oh, look, it's his actual brother's mission, kind of thing, that he's the little F up of the family, but he's got to try to help take down the man once again, right? So but yeah, horrible. Don't waste your time on it. And then
hold on, does it get 1? How many stars?
Oh yeah, 1. So 1 star there. And then I also checked out the new Kevin Bacon, Amanda Seyfried horror movie, You Should Have Left. I should have left within the first 15 minutes. Again, this was another horrible movie that just had really no scares, not even any jump scares. It was dumb. I mean, the scariest thing in it was the 35-year-old age difference between Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried, that they were trying to make me believe that they were this couple. It was like, come on, y'all.
That preview though, it's a great preview. Because I've been tempted for the past like 2 weeks to push. Do I want to spend my money on that? And I was like, right? Do I want to? And then I was like, something about it has just been pushing me off. So I'm glad I heard this.
No, the trailer was really good. I watched it. I was like, okay, and I didn't think it was going to be great, but I was like, oh, it's going to be one of these Blumhouse like good entry level kind of horror movies. It'll be worth it. No. And yes, this is one of those like premium VOD movies that's $19.99. So like, do not spend your money. You're not going to like it. Stay away from it. I would give it like 1 star also. I did not dig it like at all. And then lastly, just, shouting it out. We sat through on Disney Plus, Hamilton, the biggest thing in the world right now in the streaming world, Disney Plus, with its 72% uptake of memberships and downloads last week because of Hamilton. So really great musical. I'm not a musical guy, but my wife is, and she's been dying to watch this. It was a process to get to watch this last weekend because it's almost 3 hours long. So it was trying to find that window of like, you don't want to, if it's 10 o'clock at night, you're like, I don't want to start this right now. And then, earlier in the day, then it was like my daughter's watching TV. So it's like trying to find this 3-hour block. But we found it last Sunday. And I thought it was really, really good. The production's great. Lin-Manuel Miranda is a genius. This is a true musical that literally goes song to song to song to song to song. There is no spoken dialogue in this thing. It is literally all music. And there's probably 40 songs on the soundtrack because it's 3 hours long and it's just song after song. That dude just wrote all of it, composed it all, and to do this hip opera, it's so old, but then it's so fresh, making it hip hop. I mean, they battle rap in the middle of this thing, and then just seeing the people that are on stage, you recognize a lot of these people, and you're like, oh man, I know her in this, and I know him in this, and it was really cool to see like how many people actually came from this stage production. So, because the version they show on Disney Plus is from 2016, so they recorded it a while ago, and it's really cool to see a lot of the faces in it. But it was a lot of fun. The music's great. And definitely check it out. I mean, it definitely lives up to the hype. So
I've been wanting to see that for the past it's been out since July 4th. So I wanted to try. Yeah, I wanted to try to watch it. As much as possible. I just like you say, you have to find the time to sit and watch a 3-hour straight deal. I know you could pretend you had an intermission. I don't know if they've cut it.
There's a 1 minute intermission in the middle. 1 minute.
So maybe you just stop there if you started watching it, then possibly.
Yeah. But, they give you 1 minute. So that's my last one. I would give that 4 out of 5. Just really. And the only reason I wouldn't, it should be 5 out of 5 if you're going straight out of musicals, but it was just too damn long, so I went to 4. But definitely worth checking out. It is awesome.
That's great to hear. I can't wait to see that. Okay, so we're I think we deja vu on this one. Not the segment, because we killed that segment, thank God. But it's called TV Talk. We were talking Jeffrey. Sorry, I screwed that up this time. Jim Jeffries on Intolerant. Is that his new stand-up special they're doing on Netflix that you watched?
Yeah, Jim Jeffries is in Deja Vu. Jim Jeffries, I'm a big fan. He's got a new special out. Unlike what Don said about Lopez, actually, this is probably my least favorite of his for the last few. I just meant like, you were saying Lopez was, he got better. Jeffries, this is probably my least favorite of Jeffries. I just felt like they got a little too ranty, got a little too ravey, and it was missing material, actually. You know what I mean? It's still fun. It's still enjoyable here. He's fun to listen to rant. Again, Intolerant is the name of the special here, so he talks about all things that he's intolerant, all the new PC culture, milk and cheese, all things that make him intolerant. And so it's still an enjoyable one here. But yeah, I just felt like, as far as material wise here, it just felt a little more talky and ravey than it was about really good setups and stories. Other thing I wanted to talk about real quick on TV, I'm also just wanted to talk about, I really like this premise. And I wanted to see if you guys like the premise. It's Celebrity Show Off on TBS. And what this is it's hosted by Mayim Bialik of Big Bang Theory. And what was the other show she was in? Blossom?
Blossom,
yeah.
I never saw it. I knew she was known for something else. You have 6 celebrities, and it takes place now during quarantine, and they all shoot like their own little mini shows. And so it's one segment. It's like 10 minutes long. I watched because Kevin Smith's in it. His son in lockdown. It's about how his future son-in-law somehow got snuck into his lockdown with him and his family. It's cheesy, but it's fun. Tori Spelling's got a segment. Ja Rule has a segment. Diplo, different people here. And Kevin Smith, I think, won the first 2 weeks. And then whoever has the least amount of views and likes gets eliminated. A new celebrity comes on and shows their own segment here. So it's right now it's just okay, because you can kind of feel that there's not a hell of a lot you can do production-wise, story-wise in quarantine here. Like, it's just them kind of filming themselves, and Diplo's just him saying these weird non sequiturs and post-editing stuff. So it's just okay now, but I just kind of wanted your guys' opinion. I think this would be a fun concept post-COVID. Take 6 shows and have them battle each other, basically, and see what people actually want to see. Give them all each one segment, and then, see who actually can get picked up, a couple months into a full show. I like the idea of it more.
I've seen the show. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. But I could see the concept of what you're saying though, like post COVID, kind of like here's a mini version of a show I came up with and have them battle out. Maybe the winner actually gets a season on TBS. I don't know, but I could see something like that working. But in the way that it's being done on TBS right now, it just comes off uber cheesy. It's all like D-list celebrities for the most part, besides Kevin Smith. Like it just, I don't know. It comes off like just a desperate attempt to be like, look, we have a new program, because no one else has anything new right now. And I've tried to watch it a couple times and I can't get into it. It's so dumb, especially the Jason Mraz shit when he's just walking through like his little fucking forest and just talking to the plants and shit.
Now
like,
here's my kitty. It's very true. That's what I mean. Like I had a tough time. I've only seen clips on YouTube of Kevin Smith's, and then I tried watching a full episode, and I was like, "Oh shit, this thing's an hour." I was bored a half an hour in because it is true. It's just there's not much you can do. Like you said, half of them are just home alone filming whatever. Smith is easily the best. At least his is kind of written and is a story a little bit here. Even though again it is very cheesy as what it is. But yeah, I do think the concept has premise here when you can go post COVID and you can do real production and story and editing.
If you do that though, you're looking at what Quibi already does, I believe, right? They give you 5 or 10 minute stretches, and then, but of course that's different. I know because you're that's supposed to be a continuing story for a series, but but I don't know if you can really get a lot from 5 minutes if you were to do that or 10 minutes. But I would.
You actually just made your own point, Quibi.
but Quibi is falling apart. So Quibi is going down, and so I don't see how
Quibi's going down because Quibi went with the pay window, and people and it's just on your phone. Quibi's going down not because of the concept. Quibi's going down because it's their own fault.
Well, it's not just the concept too. People don't really.
You can now Chromecast Quibi to your television, so that's how I watch it now. Bypass the whole phone thing. Because that was the big downfall at first. But being able to Chromecast it has been amazing to watch it on the big TV. They just dropped that trailer the other day for the new Kevin Hart one, where he's being trained by John Travolta to be an action star. Come on, Jordan, it looks fucking fantastic.
It looks funny. It really does. Yeah, I like how.
I like when John Travolta's telling them like, no sex, no blowjobs, no this, no that in the house, and he's like, who else is here? And he's like, just me.
So he takes the piss on himself, which is, all the rumors that are going around. So I thought that was kind of funny. So, yeah, I agree with you. I would love to see this one. And I think the other one with the Hemsworth kid, Liam, I think, is in that one. Another one. Actually looks pretty decent.
I watched all that. It was really, really good. So
I like long format.
I'm interested in a couple of them. You had Will Forte's got one. Like, yeah, I mean, there's a couple. So.
That's my favorite one. The Will Forte one with Kate Olsen is my favorite one. And then the most what was the Liam Hemsworth one? Most Dangerous Game. That one is really, really good as well. They just renewed that for a second season. There's only a handful of things really worth your time on it right now. I know the new Fugitive's supposed to come out here pretty soon on it also, which looks pretty good. But yeah, and then looking forward to Die Hard. They did have the WWE show on there, the Fight Like a Girl, which was pretty interesting. Aria really enjoyed that one with the Divas. So lots of interesting stuff. I mean, Punk'd was pretty cool. They brought Punk'd back from MTV with the prank show, and there was another kind of game showy one that was on there that was pretty good too. So yeah, they got to find their footing. It's new. They're not sure where they're going yet, but hopefully they'll find it sooner rather than later.
Who's in The Fugitive? Who's in that?
I'm forgetting his name, but it's the dude that was the lead in the Last Predator movie, and he was also the bad guy in Logan.
Sure. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The blonde guy. Yeah.
I know who he's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so the next show we're going to talk about is called The Midnight Gospel. It's on Netflix. It's an animated cartoon, not for children. I definitely will say, because the first episode is basically about drug intake, and it has Dr. Drew Lipinski, I think Pinsky or whatever. He's like the voice of the president in this one, and the guy's talking about marijuana. He's talking about hallucinogens. He's talking about all these things, and are they bad? Psychologically are they bad? And Dr. Drew's giving him advice basically through the whole episode. And it was almost like if I was on a shrink's couch and asking questions that are like if I was trying to get deep. And that's what this whole show feels like. It's like therapy for the crazy that crazy earworm that you get when you start deep diving down a rabbit hole on the internet. But yeah, it's a nice little series. It's 30 minutes and it's pretty decent. I say give it a shot. And like I said, it's only a few episodes right now. I think there's only 10 on the Netflix. So give it a shot.
That animation style looks weird to me.
It is. It took me a little bit of time to get used to it. At first, I was like, "Who drew this? A 3-year-old?" Because it's like really shaky. It's kind of like does that. It's just weird. But once your eyes get used to what you're looking at, it's almost like the same whenever you look at Rick and Morty. At first, their animation was a little different in your head. Because the eyeball, the irises in their eyes and stuff like that is a little different. Same here. Okay, so we're going to the next segment now.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you. I was hoping I was tossing it. I was hoping we was going to toss it back. But yeah,
are you skipping? Are you done with television shows?
Yeah, we're done with television. Unless you have anything. Okay.
So,
Jordan, you vetted this.
I wasn't looking right now.
So I just finished the new reboot season of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. Pretty good. I'd say I think it's 6 episodes. 4 of them are pretty solid, and then 2 of them are just eh. But for the most part, I like the way they were shot. Some pretty interesting stories. So definitely check that out. I finished all of season 2 of the Twilight Zone, the new Twilight Zone reboot, season 2. I thought was great. I thought it was way better than season 1. Pretty much loved most of the episodes except for the last episode. The last one that they chose to put on there, I thought was the worst episode by far. So kind of went out on a putter for me at the end. But
speaking
really
of Palm Springs, what do you think of the Topher Grace one? I like that twist as well.
Yeah, that was still pretty much on the bottom of my list too, but
Really?
it wasn't
like
as
that
bad
one.
as I felt that last one was. I think my favorite was the first episode with the mind meld, and then him going to find her, his soulmate,
Oh yeah, Jimmy Simpson, yeah.
The downtime one was pretty good, where it was the virtual world, and then I really liked the one with Damon Wayans Jr. with the model, that he was able to kind of with the little town and the model, and he was trying to help make the town better. So those were some of the standout ones for me, but really.
I like the Witches one.
Which one?
Witches.
The Witches?
The girls in the boarding school.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that was really good. And then we also checked out the Jeffrey Epstein documentary on Netflix as well, Filthy Rich. And that one was really, really good. So if you like documentaries, I definitely highly recommend that one.
And what was that one?
The Jeffrey Epstein one.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen. Yeah, that one seems to give me a creep. So I just don't know.
Yeah, really, really good. It's 4 parts. They're each an hour long, so not too hard to get through. But man, super, super solid. Crazy story. When you get into the middle of that, I had no idea about what really surrounded that whole thing, and yeah. So definitely check that out. So a lot of good Netflix-ness.
Is that it for your TV shows, bud? Well, then speaking of TV shows here, we're going to count down our top 10 favorite TV shows so far of the year of 2020. As long as they aired some new episodes, they're eligible for contention here. So let's talk some more TV shows. Dutch, what do you got at your number 10?
My number 10, my friend, is Prodigal Son. It's on Fox. To me, it's I don't even know if they've upped it yet, but no, they did. Good. Because I kind of lose after a while. If I haven't heard anything for about a month after it wraps up, I kind of fall asleep on it. But this show to me.
Am I on the air? and you'll
Oh,
find.
okay. I'll check. I'll keep a look at MI on
I'm
here.
also pretty sure I said it on this show too. So I don't think you watched
I,
it.
I, you know, it was probably a long time ago then, if that's the case. But yeah, Prodigal Son, it is just a great action, great thrilling action thing. Lou Diamond Phillips, and God, what is Martin Sheen, and God, I can't remember everybody else. But
Lou Diamond Phillips.
yes, Lou Diamond Phillips is the head detective,
I know who.
and Martin Sheen is the serial killer. So it's just a beautifully done show. I'm hoping they keep this kind of suspense up like they have been throughout the whole series. And I hope if anything they just do like 13 episode seasons. I don't want 22. I want you to just give me clear, concise stories so you don't have to overload me with a lot of filler. But I'm hoping that's what we're going to see with a lot of these type of shows in the future. I'm hoping.
Nice.
Very good. Don, what you
I
got
like
for
Prodigal
number
Son.
10?
I like that show a lot. That was one of the better new shows that came out on regular TV last year.
I think that's the only one that's on regular TV. Oh, two. I have one more, I think.
Oh yeah, true. I don't know if
Good old broadcast television.
I have one that's on regular TV. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't piece that together just now. Don, what do you got for your number 10?
I got a lot on national regular TV.
Don, what do you got for number 10?
I, of course, love honorable mentions, so I'd like to shout out a couple shows that did not make the cut but came close. Altered Carbon Season 2 over on Netflix. I love Season 1. Unfortunately, Season 2 was nowhere near how amazing Season 1 was, so it did not make the top 10, but it was still a really good season with Anthony Mackie taking over.
Yeah.
That was honorable mention. Good Girls. I really like the show Good Girls. That's on NBC. I don't know, something about it, man. Just really, really dig that one. Season 3 was the newest one that we were watching this year. Superstore, another consistent comedy that's on NBC as well. From somebody who's dealt with retail stores my whole life, I just get such a kick out of Superstore because I just know where a lot of this stuff is coming from. And then from a news show standpoint, same thing, broadcast television, the Unicorn with Walton Goggins was really, really solid. I like the ensemble cast in it. It's super funny. And I'm glad that one got picked up for a second season as well. So the Unicorn. So getting into actually number 10, it's a show that I was way behind on, and I actually just binged season 1, then 2 right after. Season 2 is the one that just aired on television, and it's What We Do in the Shadows, season 2. So that one's on FX. I didn't get into it till it was on Hulu. I liked the movie, but for some reason I never got into the show. And then as I started to run out of things to watch, I was like, okay, I've heard good things. Let me check it out. And season 1 was great.
Yes.
And of course, I jumped right into season 2 when it was done, and it was just as funny. So I love the characters. I'm glad it got picked up for a third season. So What We Do in the Shadows season 2 is my number 10.
Very nice, very nice. Going over now to my list here, some honorable mentions for me since we're doing that. Walking Dead, I think it's picked up this year. So it actually, for the first time in a couple of years, almost cracked my 10. Didn't quite though. Superstore, I agree, man. I really love the store. As someone that works in retail for a long time myself, it is very funny. Bob's Burgers continues to be very funny. That was almost there. And I'm just going to shout out to the RIP of Modern Family, who I thought was still pretty funny until its very end as well. Shout out to them as well. My number 10 here is actually my boy, right above my left here, or right, depending on how you're looking at it, Andy Samberg, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Just a really super fun show. It's actually a show, if you're ever feeling down, you can watch. Just super likable, great cast here. I heard they might maybe change the tone a little bit next season. I hope they don't go overboard with it and try to get like super serious now because of the recent times. Because that's what's lovable about this show is that it is just great, delectable, fun television here. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine coming in at my number 10. Dutch, what do you got for your Niner?
My 9, let me pull it back up here. It is Normal People on Hulu. It's one of those shows that they just two backgrounds. They fall in love in the same town. They're from the same town of Ireland, and their lives just get intermingled as time moves on. Do they know if they're going to be together? Are they going to be around? We don't really know. So it's just a great, just a nice angst TV show, but it just plays very well in this day and age of two different casts. So it's almost like a modern day Romeo and Juliet, and it is a very good show. It's on Hulu. Normal People, number 9.
Very good. I can't wait to see where Normal People falls on Don's list. Don, where do you got it? Number 9.
It is not on my list, but thanks for asking. Number 9 for me is another new show that came out, and I was waiting to see if it got picked up, and it was a late pickup, but they finally gave it. It's Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. That comes in number 9 for me. Just a unique show, man, a very unique show with great heart, seeing how people feel through music. I love the way the show plays out. There's something about it at the end of every episode that I just feel happier. I just feel in a better place after I see this show. It just leaves like this lasting effect on you, and it has a lot of great heart, and I love it. It's a very unique show. It's probably the most unique show on television, so I'd give it that. So number 9 is Always Extraordinary Playlist, season 1.
That's a good one. I almost threw that in my honorable mentions. I need to see a little bit more of it, so that's kind of the only reason. That might not have cracked mine. My number 9, Don, you ready for this background?
Hi, I'm Dave.
It's Dave, everybody. The new show starring Little Dicky is on FX. It got renewed. I think it was like the highest rated show or viewed show on FX rather. And yeah, I just thought this thing was unique. It was fun. My only complaint is I want a little bit more. I wanted more sometimes. Sometimes they kind of like I think I said it before on the show. Like Atlanta, it delved off sometimes into side characters. So even though those episodes were good, because it's only 10 episodes, I wanted more on the main story here. So it's almost just a greedy example of wanting more here. It got a little crazy at some points here. There's a thing about a milking fetish. I won't get into that. But it's a really good, funny show that I do recommend. It's on Hulu, I believe. So my number 9 is Dave.
Yeah, I ended up, based on your recommendation, I decided to give it a watch, even though I hate that fucking poster so much. But I decided to give it a shot. And it's pretty good. It's pretty funny for the most part. It does get off tangent several times. I wish it was a little bit more focused. But it is a pretty funny ass show. So I'll be curious to see how season 2 goes.
What was we were at? Number 8? Number 8, I think we're at, right? My number 8 is Soul Opposites from the creators of Rick and Morty on Hulu, another Hulu show. I believe it was Justin Roiland, yeah, created it. I just thought it has the same exact humor. I love the sub story of the people within the wall. The wall collection of the people he shrinks down throughout the season, and that little sub story, and the twists and turns that actually took as well. And so it had 2 great stories going on throughout the season. And I am hoping, since why wouldn't they somehow make a crossover between Rick and Morty as well? Because it is kind of reference that there is something else out there. So we'll see. I can't wait. They're both in the same time frame from the same creators. Hopefully they'll get the okay to do the crossover episode that I think the fans are already clamoring for. It's already been renewed at Hulu, and I can't wait for a second season.
I just watched the first one this afternoon. So, because I just got Hulu back. So, yeah, I like it so far. It's good. I'll just see more of the little people world because they're just starting that, obviously, in the first episode. So, yeah, it's a good show. I'll have to see more of it. Don, what do you got?
Number 8 is a show that ended this year, and I was sad to see it go, another network comedy. It's Fresh Off the Boat, season 6. I love this show, one of my favorite comedies on television. Always sad to see a show go that you just love. I mean, this was one of those comedies that every week, I only have a handful of them that I'm like, I have to see the new episodes that same week. And Fresh Off the Boat was one of them, man. Just the whole cast, hilarious. I had a feeling it was kind of coming. So, I hope for good things for these guys going on into the future. But this show was very consistent, very funny throughout its tenure. And I think kind of placed more out of nostalgia factor because, the season being its last, it wasn't as strong as maybe some of the other seasons, but it was such a great show, and I'm sad to see it go. So Fresh Off the Boat, season 6 is my number 8.
I'm Fresh Off the Boat. Yeah.
Fresh Off the Boat.
Great cast too. So speaking of random crap that I watch, the
Randall
grandma,
Park, baby.
the grandma that doesn't speak English. I just saw her in a really shitty horror film with Melissa Joan Hart. That was like Saw and Hostel. Anywho, my number 8 is The Last OG with Tracy Morgan over on TBS. Morgan's never been better. Tiffany Haddish has never been better here. It's just a really tight storyline of this guy trying to, have some redemption, build up his new life after being in jail after several years here. I believe this is season 3. And again, this is, we've kind of mentioned it here before. This is where I think those tight seasons come in handy here because this show is so strong. And I'm very much looking forward to even season 4. I don't think it's really missed a step. If anything, maybe this is better than season 2 to a degree. I just thought it was so good here. He starts to find love towards the end of the season, which is very nice. There's some revelations with Addis's character. She's only in about half the season. But yeah, I just think this is a really, really tight show that every time it's out, you can tell how much I like a show by how long it lasts on my DVR and whether or not I have 12 episodes piled up or if it doesn't even last the next day or two. And this is one that's usually gone pretty quickly here. So what do you got as we go on to 7 now, Dutch?
Number 7, again, I go back to the Fox network. They seem the only bright spots in my television schedule this year. I am just going to jump in and say this was my favorite show. It made me so happy to watch it every time I watched it, and it was good for families. It's so good, and I want a second season. And Arnett is trying to get one too. And this is Lego Masters. I keep plugging this and plugging this and plugging this show. But Lego Masters was one of my top shows, number 7, of course, of the top 10. So, but it was such a great show. It was such full of fun and whimsy, and just the charisma of Arnett and the 2 other Lego hosts who work for Lego, I believe, and they're master builders as well. And it just the contestants and everything about it. It was just magical to watch. That's why I put Lego Masters as one of the fun shows to watch that you haven't seen. If you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu the whole season. So get a chance to watch something fun for the family.
Dave agrees. You can tell by the little thumbs up by Jordan.
Give it a
I am Dave. It's funny. You had that great setup, and I was like, man, which Fox show is he going to really go with? And then he's like, Lego Masters. Like, did not know that's where you're going, but interesting. I know you've been plugging the hell out of that, though.
Yeah, I love it.
Number 7 is something Jordan actually touched upon in his honorable mentions earlier. It was the last season for this other great show, and that's Modern Family. Modern Family season 11 is my number 7. I think Modern Family is probably overall the greatest sitcom that was on television from a comedy standpoint. It's so good, and the ensemble's so good, and how you get so many different, ethnicities and just, gay, straight, this, that. Like, I love how everybody interacts in the show. And this show was just consistently funny to me every single episode. This last season was just as great as the other ones. It's super duper funny. And I just absolutely loved it. I'm going to miss this whole cast and crew. I'm hearing rumors of spinoffs. I hope I get something. Give me something to get me back in this world, because I love this family. I love everybody in this show, and this was a sad one to see go. Like, fresh off the boat, I was like, it's sad to see it go. I love it, but I understood. Modern Family there was a little tear coming down at the end of that last episode. It was like, oh. So that's my number 7, season 11 of Modern Family.
I'll be honest. This Modern Family, though, I love because there's still a scene. My favorite scene. I don't know if it wasn't this season. It was past seasons, but I think it was when Pepper and Phil are in the golf cart listening to the Cats in the Cradle song. And they're both crying because of I need to talk to my boy, and to me, that was the greatest just scene, because you don't ever expect something like that on a TV show. And that, to me, it just brought that. It was just funny. And there was just great talent on that show. And I agree with you. It will be a missed show.
Speaking of, Pepper, they were really good at so many great guest stars out the years too. Really good about pulling in some really great, sometimes unexpected guest stars. What kind of spinoffs could there be, though, Don? What have you heard? Who would you spin off?
I mean, you could do Cam. and them because they were moving at the end of the season, so you could do that, in the new city, the new town, them getting acclimated to his new job. They just adopted another kid. I mean, that's a built-in spinoff right there if you just go with that family side of the family. That's the only one I can really see, to be honest, though. I mean, you could try to do something with the kids, and maybe bring back all three kids and kind of bounce through their kind of lives, in adulthood, being moved out of the parents' home.
On ABC, Manny.
Not Manny. Manny don't deserve a spinoff.
No.
I love Manny.
I agree with you though. He doesn't. I like him too, but he's not a spin-off material.
This summer on ABC, Pepper.
Yeah. I can see that in the 80s for some reason.
Cam and Mitch deserve the spinoff.
Well, speaking of sad, that was a transition because you said sad like 5 minutes ago. Speaking of sad, number 7, it'll be very sad, very touching, very funny show though. Afterlife on Netflix with Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Second season, so tight as the first one here though. This one will really grab you hard sometimes, but it will also make you laugh. Again, some interesting stuff to do here with the supporting characters throughout the 2 years. Don turning his back on Afterlife. But no, I thought this show I thought it was so extremely well made. I don't know if they've announced a third. What's good about Gervais is he is another one that doesn't overdo it. He ends when the story needs to end, which is good. So, Afterlife for me is my number 7.
I love that show. You brought me to that show, and I thank you for it because it's just I cleanse every time I watch it, man. It's like a great purging of my tears.
Well, we got number 6, Dutch.
My number 6 is a brand new show. It's on HBO, and it's based on an old television series, but with a different spin. It's Perry Mason. He's now a gritty detective. He's not a lawyer. He's just a gritty detective trying to solve a crime in late 1940s. I think it's L.A. And it's just an unbelievably unflinching, gritty drama that. And he's on this case at the moment about a dead baby, and he's got to find the murderer of this child. And it takes, it's a lot of twists, a lot of turns so far. We're only about 4 or 5 episodes in, and it is a good tale so far. I just love a good gritty detective story, and these are what and HBO is delivering very well with Perry Mason. Michael Rise, I believe that's his name, is the lead.
Rice.
Yeah, right. So yeah, he's the lead as Perry Mason. John Lithgow is in it, and a few others. Very well, just a very good show. I'm enjoying it so far.
You know who was a big Perry Mason fan back in the day? Me and Don's mama. Although she would be very upset of knowing that there's boobies and cursing in this one. So.
Oh, there's sex and there's.
Not Perry Mason. Is
not mine. Hashtag not my Perry Mason.
So, what would you have for your number 6?
My number 6 is another Fox show, and it's not Lego Masters.
What?
But it's a show I really, really dig, man. It's starting to feel a little redundant because we're on season 3 going into season 4, but I still get a hella kick out of this show every week, and it's 911. I love 911 on Fox. They did just do the spinoff 911 Lone Star earlier this year as well. I kind of was almost going to do like a mixed bag of both shows because the spinoff is actually pretty good too with Rob Lowe. But the original show is on a whole nother level. I mean, it's better than Lone Star. I'd like the crew better. I like the whole cast. Angela Bassett is fantastic in it. It's just a cool show, man. The characters are interesting, and then just having all the calls that they come across, and just these weird ass accidents and things that happen, which are all loosely based on real life situations. So it's cool to see what they bring into it. The guy that does American Horror Story is the guy behind this. And I'm glad, man. It's the highest rated thing on Fox. It's going to be going for quite some time, and I can't wait for season 4. So season 3 of 911 is my number 6.
Yep.
Very good. My number 6, rounding out the 6s here, is a show on, man, I don't know, it's in its double digits here on HBO. Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David here. This is a show that I think is the season called the 20th season. in the last few seasons, actually. Here, I just thought it was a great thorough line of him opening up a spite store. Has a great thorough line there. Some great cameos from Jonah Hill amongst others in the finale here. Just I've always loved the show since day one, and before this new season, I binged several of the older seasons, and not for the first time as well. Here, I think this is an instantly rewatchable, fun show here. I know I announced here on the show that next season already has been greenlit, that he is coming back for another one at least. So yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm coming out at my number 6. What was that, Don?
Oh, I was just saying, Am I on the Air brought that news this week also.
I don't know. I don't remember where I got it from. Maybe. What's your number 5, Dutch? What are the top 5?
My number 5 is probably not going to be your number 5s, but it makes me laugh. It brought me out of this, this virus funk that we're all in, and it made me just like I said, cackle like a school kid. Crossing Swords on Hulu, from the kids who brought you Robot Chicken. It is an unbelievably. Yeah, I know, but it's from the peoples then, if you want to go that way. But yeah, it's from those kids who brought us the good old-fashioned Robot Chicken. It is just a fun little wooden soldiers at their best. It's great imagination, great storytelling, and it just I am just so thrilled with it. And I've already watched the seasons twice, so that's how good I enjoy it. So yeah, number 5, Crossing Swords. It brightened my day during this whole dark, virus day of clouds.
Very good, very good. Down in the top half here, what you got?
Yeah, my number 5 is another show that brings me smiles to my face. It makes me feel like a little kid, especially somebody that did most of my childhood in the 80s, and that's the Goldbergs. The Goldbergs season 7 is my number 5. This show, man, just kills me every episode, every time. It's hilarious, and as a kid of the 80s and the 90s, like it just resonates so much with like the movies they're watching, the clothes that they're wearing. Just everything, the themes of each episode. I mean, it just really takes me back. And it's just so damn funny, though. Everybody in the show is hilarious. This is one of those comedy sitcoms, man, that it's just do not miss. If I'm flipping through the channels and it's on, I usually get stuck. I stop to see what episode it's on. I also loved last season that they basically said that it was in the same universe as Adam Sandler's Wedding Singer, which is so awesome. That they did that little crossover episode and they were on the airplane at the same time. that Billy Idol was on the airplane with Adam Sandler and Drew. So yeah, just awesome show. Never disappoints. Goldberg season 7 at my number 5.
I don't want to bring up your parade, but I got to ask you, Don. You talked about repetitiveness before. My only problem with the Goldbergs here is that I'm getting a little tired of them being like, "Oh my God, Mom, you're on me way too much. I'm sick of it." And then at the very end, go, "Oh, Mom, I love you." And then it's done that trope way too much for me, of the mom smothering and then them realizing like, "Oh, it's really for the best. She does love me," and then them winning her back. Like that trope's been done to death.
Yeah, a little bit, but it doesn't take enough away from me to not love that show.
It's still a show I still enjoy.
And Wendy McClendon, Clevy is an amazing actress. I love her on the show. I loved her in Reno 911. Shout out to Reno 911, which also had a revival on Quibi this year as well, which was pretty funny too. I mean, I see it though. I do get tired of it, especially with her and the youngest kid, Adam. On the show, that it's always just mom, and at the end, I'm sorry, Mom, but I think that's part of the heart of the show is their relationship, and especially with the other kids growing so old and kind of moving out and going to college, like it only leaves us really with that. So, but we'll see where it goes. But I still just love the show to death.
No, it does have a super great charm of it. And in other years, it was in my top 10, I think, a few times. So. My number 5 here is the only non-scripted show, reality show. Well, not reality show, but more of a docudrama. It's not Lego Masters. I'm sorry, guys, it's not Lego Masters. it's
Again, striking out.
it's Dark Side of the Ring here over on Vice here. I know all three of us here are pro wrestling fans. Even if you're not, we were just looking for really gripping stories here. Tremendously well done editing and storytelling. This is one for you over on Vice, who does a pretty good job in general with documentaries, just bringing you these new fascinating things that you might not know of here. This season, we'll have you balling. Again, that's from the beginning with Chris Benoit to the very end with Owen Hart, and even in between. There's a couple lighter ones here, some crazy ones with New Jack, Brawl for All. So it gets a little bit lighter this season as well. Definitely ready for season 3. Like I said, this is just it's master storytelling here. Again, wrestling fan or not, this show is just so well done. So glad that season 2 got picked up, and now season 3. So. And Dutch is rocking an FTR shirt. What do you got at your number 4?
Yes, I am rocking the FTR shirt, but the
Change
fourth
that
one
damn
is
background, Jordan. We've looked at David long enough.
yeah.
That was like 4 shows ago. Come on.
The number 4 is a great dark comedy on Hulu. Again, not that one, please. That just made me depressed to even watch that movie. There we go. That's a good one. But anyway, The Great with Nicholas Hoult and
Scott renewed for season 2.
yes, and it's gonna be it's a good show. It's dark as heck. And I hear Am I on the Air broke that news story to the world. They were the first after they got it from someone else. So, but they were the first. So yes, I am so happy. This show is such a good show. The chemistry alone, from all the actors and this period, farcical drama is just unbelievably fun. Like I said, it's so dark. It's just giddy dark, and I love dark like nobody's business. So yes, 4 is The Great. It is number 4. That's great. So 4.
All right.
What do you got for number 4, my good man?
My number 4 is another show that Jordan actually had on his list earlier. Going back to some more comedy because I love nothing more in life than to laugh, and that's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So Brooklyn Nine-Nine, season 7 is the last season we just had. That is my number 4. I just, like Jordan said, I mean, it's just the ensemble is great. It's hilarious. It's another show that just every week they never fail to impress me, make me laugh. The captain is one of the greatest characters I think ever made on a television show. He is just so fantastic. His timing is next level. I am a little worried, like Jordan said, about the next season because they've scrapped all the episodes that they already written. And, Terry Crews was saying, we got to go back to the well. Andy Samberg said the other day, we got to do better, stuff like that. So I hope that they understand what they have. I mean, they can address topics, but I hope they keep that comedy at the level that it's been. I mean, this is a show that Fox did and canceled on us. And within 24 hours of the internet being like, how dare you cancel this show? They got it brought back on NBC. And I hope to God that they're able to pull out an amazing season 8. So fingers crossed, but man, one of probably my favorite comedy on television right now, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, is my number 4.
Very good here, man. No, yeah, same sentiments from me. My number 4, Dutch talked about the newer show from Justin Roiland. I'm going with the OG, though, Rick and Morty here. Just, again, continually surprises us with the way it has twists and turns on the normal genres of time and just all the sight gags, stuff in the background, all the characters here. The show continually impresses me here. It's still top notch as season 1. Rick's a little less annoying, too, with his burps, which is always good for me, in my opinion. Rick and Morty is one that I always supremely look forward to here. So number 4, Rick and Morty, as we go to the top 3 shows. Dutch.
When it comes to number 3, I kind of have to look at it as, what impact does it have on society as well? Because you're getting better, and plus, good scripts, good acting, of course, help a little along as well. My number is number 3. It is a Hulu show original. Was supposed to be on Disney Plus, but the biggest decided to push it over to their sister network. That was Love, Victor. Fabulous show, very good take on and expresses a different culture that you would have seen in Love, Simon, which was an excellent movie. what I loved about it too is that they didn't separate the two. They kept them together, and we also got to see where Simon has ended up in the future. So it is just it's a very well told story. And again, it helps me understand, not a lot, but like for the Hispanic culture of how where they belong in the spectrum of how they, or do they tolerate it in their community. And they showed parts of that as well. So there's a lot of eye-opening stuff still in this world that they get you. But again, the acting is just unbelievably good, and the scripts are touching and heartfelt. So it wasn't forced. I thought it just flowed so well. So that was number 3, Love Victor.
Very cool. Man, you're plugging Hulu along tonight.
I am a Hulu-aholic, it seems, today.
Gotta get Jordan to keep that subscription.
I haven't for a month now, so I gotta catch up on what we do in the Shadows and Solar Opposites. Then I'm going away again for 3 months.
You love Victor in.
Hulu's great. My number 3 is another show that I was a little late to the party on, and then I binged season 1 and 2 back to back, and I was like, damn, I love this show. Season 3 coming in 2021. I'm talking about You on Netflix. You season 2. I know what you're looking at, Jordan, and I don't give a fuck because here's the technicality. It came out December 26th of 2019. So
it would be considered. It would be considered for Emmy votes, I believe.
This is not the Emmys, Dutch. This is a show about shows.
If it wasn't all episodes dropped same day, episode 2 would have been in 2020. So I'm counting it. Damn it. I love the show You. I've had a million people tell me to watch it. I had it on my queue. I just kept pushing past it and finally decided to watch it and fell in love with it. And season 2 is even better than the first season. It is so damn good. Twists and turns. Gave me Dexter vibes. I just really, really dug this show a lot and cannot wait to see where it goes in season 3. So I'm going to make that my number 3 show of 2020.
Well, now I don't know what to do because if that's part of the rules, I want to include in my top 10 too. Because I'm actually even slightly later boat than you. You were probably like the last person that pushed me over. I had more than one coworker tell me about it, and then finally you told me, and you were like, "Get on it, stop watching Good Boy." And I was like, "All right."
Still haven't seen it yet. Still haven't watched it yet.
I watched. I literally, again, speaking of today, I had a long day of watching today. I finished season 2 today, so I'm ready for 3 as well. I don't know if I'll say it's better than 1, just because, and what I'm afraid of for season 3 is I hope it doesn't get too repetitive here where we're going with it. And you said Dexter vibes, absolutely Dexter vibes, which is funny because they name dropped Dexter in season 2.
Yeah, when she said that, I was like, oh!
They knew what we were thinking during season 1 here. But a lot more charming and a character than Dexter, actually. Penn Badgley is great.
Good old Joe.
Good old Joe, Will, whatever you want to call him. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of the show as well. It's a 2019 show, so I didn't include it. It would have been in my top 5, though. I'm looking at my list. It would have been top 5 if I had not broken the rules. But
I had already made my list, and then I was like fact-checking what seasons and release dates, and then I came across that, and I was like, you got to be shitting me. December 26th? I was like, it missed it by that much. It was too damn close. I did look at it as if it was a regular rollout. Yeah. It would have had an episode. Several episodes, besides the first, would have been in 2020. So, that was more or less considered a 2020 show.
And I always fight Dutch on these things too, because they'll throw in like 2019 movies, and well, it came out on Christmas. Wide release was January. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
You gotta go wide release, brother. You can't just go with just somebody saw it in the closet.
Yeah.
Following the rules though is an Amazon show. One of the rare times I go, oh, I'm glad I have an Amazon account, because sometimes that account gets a little dusty. Is Upload. Really fun universe they said here, man. Great leading character here. I just love an inventive show. This and my number 1 that I'll get to, obviously. I love the world they set up here. It's a little different. Took a little bit from different things we've seen from other shows here, but it was just fun. And again, leaves you very much ready for season 2, which is happening. So yeah, I really dig Upload. I got a feeling maybe Don will talk about it. I don't know. Dutch, what do you got for your in the top 2 now?
Well, we're going to continue talking about Upload because that is my number 2 show. It is probably one of the greatest shows on television at the moment. There's only one other show, as you know, because we got one more to go. But this one is good. Andy Allo just blows me away when she's on screen, along with even Robbie Amell. Their chemistry is just super tight, super crisp. I even like Alicia, I guess that's the character's name. I pulled up the cast because I was like, I really need to give some adapt to these people. But, and I'm going to ruin her name, Zanab Johnson, as the friend of Andy Allo in the real world, instead of that in the Virtue's Dead world. It is just unbelievably fun. It's a great take on is there a heaven, and if you got to choose, do you want to go into a virtue heaven instead? And so those are the two choices. Either you die naturally, or you get stored away on this little computer, and hopefully they can reinvent the hot dog to come to life for you. So it is just a great show. Amazon is knocked it out of the park, along with what is it? I always screw up the title, The Boys, I believe, coming out in September. And I can't wait for that original to come out this year as well. But this one right now is number 2 on the list. Upload.
All right. And give me my free chalupa because I'm going to continue that. And Upload is my number 2 as well. So I'm glad to feel the love for Upload because this was a show that I was telling everybody, go watch Upload, go watch Upload. Like Jordan was getting pissed at me. He's like, you tell me one more time to watch that show, I ain't going to watch it. Because
watching just for spite.
Dude, it was so good, and it's rare that I preach a show to the moon to everybody, but Upload was that show. Like I loved the trailer, and when it came out, it was one of those ones that I just got on that binge and did not want to stop. And it went too fast because they're only a half-hour episodes, and there's only 8 of them, and I was just like, we did 4 episodes on Saturday, 4 episodes on Sunday, and it was over, and I was like, no. So I was very, very happy to hear it got picked up for a second season. That it's just genuinely loved by everybody. I don't think I've seen one negative review on Upload, which is just great. It is a really cool concept. I love the virtual world. I'm a techie. I love that kind of stuff, and just being kind of like VR is super, super tight. So yeah, Upload's my number 2, man. Awesome show.
Yeah. Lots of love for Upload. That might be the overall show if we had to do like a combined list. My number 2 is a show that has ended now over on IFC, getting some love. Brockmire with Hank Azaria. Dutch, you brought me onto this. Now you're behind, but I'm current.
I've already watched it all now. I finished it up, brother.
Okay, good.
I binged it in like 2 days.
I love this thing to the very end here. Almost like Upload. Well, not like Upload, but this last season did a time jump, and they had some fun with technology in the last season. Lamone, and really fun jumping with some characters. I won't get into spoilers in case you're behind with where they go with some of the side characters as well here, though. But I've always loved Hank Azaria. He's another one where he's always had either a super small part like Dodgeball or he's a side character. But he's front and center here, and he absolutely rocks this thing. Brockmire is my number 2.
Absolutely, I concur. This season just brought a tear to my eye, and it was just unbelievably heartfelt, and you can see that they gave him a great send off. So it was a great series.
Drum roll, guys, because we are now at the number 1 show of the year so far. Dutch, what is your favorite show so far?
If it's not on your number 1s, I'm not sure what you've been watching, but my number 1 is Picard, the greatest show on this earth. It brought back the beloved Jean-Luc Picard from Starfleet, and it is just an amazing ensemble of cast being able to reunite with number 2, what was it? God, Jonathan Frakes. I forgot his name all of a sudden. But yeah, Jonathan Frakes, Counselor LaTroy, and the mission that he brings himself on and how he forces his way to make people do his will with more or less with passive aggressiveness, and because that's all he can. He can't out-muscle him anymore. But he's Jean-Luc Picard. He's got the hell of a charisma to get it done. And to me, it's just it did so well for me. I'm glad they have a second season coming up. That second season, I hear, is going to be even better than this one. And I know they always try to hype you that way, but we're we're gonna delve more into different missions each time, and it's just I hope it's gonna be a great series. And it was just a love that you could just see that everyone cares so much for this beloved character, Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek Next Generation. Oh my God, it was so beautiful, every ounce of it. I binged that in like 3 days. I know there's only 10 episodes, but I had to pace myself. 3 days though.
Number
So
one
you
for
didn't do it
Texas.
weekly like I did?
No. I waited for them to load up because I know I'd be like chomping at the bit every week.
All right.
Don, what do you have for your number one show of 2020 so far?
All right, my number one. This was an easy one to go with. I know as soon as I put the list out, it was the first thing I wrote down. Season 4 is coming up, and it's going to be the last season. It's going to be on Netflix, and I'm sad, but I'm also excited to see where it goes. And it's Ozark season 3. Ozark season 3 was just next level, just fantastic, edge of my seat, week, episode to episode. It was just, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Just waiting to see what's going to happen to all these characters. Jason Bateman is so fantastic in the show. All the characters are just outstanding, and you just never know who's going to die, what's going to happen. And I love the first 2 seasons, but they don't have shit on season 3. Season 3 was just so far and above what the other seasons brought, and just the ending of season 3 was just one of those, oh my God, like moments, and you're just like, oh, where do we go from here? And they just announced an expanded 14 episode season 2 that's going to be broken into 2 parts, 7 and 7, next year, and I can't wait. Like I said, I'm sad that it's going to be the final season, but I like that they have a story, they know where they're going, and this is the kind of premise that would get old if it gets stretched out too long. So it's smart on them to know where they're going and wrap this thing up. But man, I just thought this season was just absolute next level. I know when I was making my list, I asked my wife, what was your favorite show this year? And she instantly went to Ozark season 3 as well. It just, like I said, your season 1 and 2, and then 3 was just so next level. So absolutely loved it, and that's my number one.
Very good here. Good picks for number one. My number one, wrapping this up, is a show that did say goodbye this year over on NBC, my only main television show here. But it was my number one. That's The Good Place, man. This is a show that continually evolved. The premise of season 1 is not the premise of later seasons here. Continually evolving this world, is setting up this new kind of post-life world here. Great cast. The finale having you fighting tears and laughs at the same time. A really good finale as well here. We mentioned like Modern Family before that. The finale was fine, but it wasn't like far from like the best episode here. Good Place ending very strong here. Absolutely love the show. It's another show that I think luckily kind of knew when to maybe wrap things up here. And yeah, I really love the show. I look forward to maybe, I want to give it some time, but revisiting this show in a few years and like just delving back in. The Good Place, near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I love The Good Place. That was actually originally in my top 10 when I started making it, and then I thought I had it written down for my honorable mention, just realized it wasn't there until you said it right now. But this was a show, this was another one of those comedies that was just awesome. Every single week was fantastic, and just always tried to tell other people to watch it. I was glad it found a bigger fan base once it hit Netflix. It's always so funny with people that don't watch regular television, and then it hits Netflix and they're like, did you see the new Netflix show, Good Place? And it's like, dude, that was old as hell. Like I saw that a year ago on NBC, and it happens to a lot of shows. People just assume they're Netflix shows. But yeah, that was a good one. Sad to see it go. It was sad and happy. But I think they went out at the right time, because it was going to start to get repetitive if they went too long. So, but yeah, fantastic show.
All right, Dutch, real quick for us, buddy. Run through your 10.
Okay, number 10, starting with Prodigal Son. 9, Normal People. Number 8, Solar Opposites. Number 7, the must-see show, Lego Masters. Number 6, Perry Mason. Number 5, Crossing Swords. Number 4, The Great. 3, Love Victor. Number 2, Upload. And number 1, Picard, off on CBS Access.
Don, what do you got for your 10?
Number 10 was What We Do in the Shadows, Season 2. Number 9 was Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Number 8 was Fresh Off the Boat, season 6. Number 7 was Modern Family, season 11. Number 6 was 911, season 3. Number 5 was Goldberg, season 7. Number 4 was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, season 7. Number 3 was You, season 2. Number 2 was Upload. And number 1 was Ozark, season 3.
Someday I will get to Ozark season 2. I'm almost there. My number 10 is.
I'm glad to know you didn't watch it yet, because I'm really sad that neither of you talked about it, because it was so damn good.
I'm almost on season 2. I'm getting there.
I've only seen season 1. I decided after season 1. Listen to this. I decide if it's going to go any further, I'll just binge the whole series when it's done.
No, I hate when people say that. Watch it now. Don't wait 2 years. Like, you gotta watch it, man. I'm telling you, season 3, you'll be like, shit, I should have saw that when you said.
Well, it'll be fresh if I were to watch it whenever season 4 comes out. So you say, I can hold off.
My number 10, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Number 9, Dave. Number 8, Last OG. Number 7, Afterlife. 6, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Number 5, Dark Side of the Ring. Number 4, Rick and Morty. Number 3, Upload. Number 2, Brockmire. Number 1, The Good Place.
Yeah, that was actually a good top 10. You know, I got a couple shows off of you, Don. I got a couple shows off of Jordan. So that's always helpful. You know, if you haven't seen any of these things, take a look at them and enjoy them, because help. That's what's great about television, man. The television is getting better every year. I mean, every season, they're taking more and more chances, and we're not all network fans, unfortunately. It seems, but they go from FX to Hulu or vice versa. But I don't know. I think network needs to work a little harder. That's all I can say.
Now, some agreement here as well. Well, you know what the next segment is, don't you?
I don't know, Don. What's the next segment? Are you hosting this part?
I think it's Jordan Steele's news from Am I on the Air?
Oh, okay.
I was going to say the following segment is the news and notables, brought to you in part by Am I on the Air?
Yes, Am I on the Air? It's the show to go to when you're not listening to us.
We got some, as always, every week, I got to deliver some bad news because movies have shifted. First, we got the first ever teaser look. Halloween Kills pushed back just about a full year, a day less, from October 16, 2020 to October 15th of 2021. So now, before we get to see Halloween Kills and Michael Myers come back, which is a big bummer. Definitely looking forward to that.
Which also meant Halloween Kills again got shifted another year back, because they were both back to back in each October. So that also has caused the other one to go to 2021 to 2022.
Absolutely, yeah. The triple down effect of yes, absolutely. Which is also sucks, but Candyman, luckily not as bad news. Just pushed back in the moment anyway, a month, September 25th to October 16th of 2020. So hopefully we'll get some Candyman this year. The Forever Purge, new Purge movie, has been announced for July 9th of 2021. And Monster Hunter with Mila Jovovich has moved several months from September 4th to April 23rd of 2021. The 35th Rock and Roll Hall of Fame special will air on HBO on November 7th. At 8 p.m. The inductees this year include Depeche Mode, Whitney Houston, the Doobie Brothers, Nine Inch Nails, Notorious B.I.G., T-Rex, and Ahmet Ertegun. Don, what's your favorite Depeche Mode song?
It's No Good.
And
Dutch, what's your favorite Doobie Brothers?
I have no clue, man. I've probably heard them somewhere along the lines. I don't remember any of their songs. Is it Give Me Two Steps, Give Me Three Steps, or is that the Allman Brothers? Or is that somebody totally different? No?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Got some renewals though. Last Kingdom on Netflix renewed for season 5. Dead to Me on Netflix is coming back for a third and final season. Let's rinse and repeat that now for The Kaminsky Method has been renewed for a third and final season on Netflix. Dutch, I think you saw this. Never Have I Ever.
What? Never Have I Ever? Yes. That's right.
For Netflix, and Stargirl going from DCU to the CW. Again, giving you no reason to subscribe to that shitty DCU app.
Absolutely. Don't get me started on that rant, because it is just the most disappointing bait and switch scheme that I think you can have a class action a lawsuit pretty fast with this bait and switch that they actually perpetrated on America.
But
and
you can read comic books on it.
Oh yeah, that's really important for me. I love the comics. Don't get me wrong. I have read a few on my TV, but I really, really love the exclusivities that they promised me, and I have complained so many times. And I have HBO Max now, so I can actually look at some stuff, I guess, that they will be having that should have been on the DC network. So that'll be interesting.
Titans is still exclusive.
Well, for now, they think that's going to jump over to HBO Max as well. It's only minutes before it happens. We all know that.
Well,
Hey, I can watch Stargirl on Mondays though. You got to wait for it on Tuesday if you wait for the CW.
Well, here's the deal. I won't watch it now. Because I don't like I just don't want commercials. And you can go to the CW app and it still has commercials. So stop it, people. Sorry. I just.
Well, the DC Constantine movie could still be in the works, a new Constantine movie, and there is talks that they want to get Keanu Reeves back. He is pretty hot right now for John Wick and the upcoming Bill and Ted. So there's a sequel we never thought might happen.
We don't want it. I don't want it. I'm just going to say this again. This is the most depressing news you've ever given me, Jordan, this week, because I do not want to see Keanu Reeves back as Constantine. Let's put Matt Ryan in there. He's already proven he can carry it on the series. He's already proven he can carry it in the animated. So let's give this man the movie that he just so deserves. He has the charisma. He has every part of it. Let's not do it. Please, let's not put Keanu back. Okay? He had his chance. He had his chance.
If they can get Shia LaBeouf, then I want Keanu back. So,
only if Shia returns.
Only if Shia returns. Speaking of, in that same vein, there's a Zatanna movie also currently being in the works. Zatanna. Oops. Well, who needs the Snyder cut when you get
who?
Schumacher cut? Because there is reports that there's a 170-minute cut of Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever out there. So fuck the Snyder cut. Let's get money on the Schumacher cut. I want to see what was left on the cutting room floor with Riddler and Two-Face, and was there more development in Drew Barrymore's little pixie follower thingy? So that's what I want to see.
There's probably more cod pieces and breast nipples and everything else laying on the floor.
That was Batman and Robin. Get your Batmans right.
It just was
Batman Forever also.
Yes.
Yeah,
Joel Schumacher just. I think the next one just kind of increased the size. That's all he did.
Well, you would know, baby. Don gave a good review to Hamilton earlier, but doesn't matter how good reviews are, Hamilton is not eligible for the Oscars. I guess anything that's pre-recorded on a stage does not count to them. It does have a shot of maybe winning some Emmys, or at least an Emmy when they get to there. But yeah, no Oscars, no matter what, for Hamilton. I think we're getting too old for this shit, but you know who's really too old for this shit is Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, but that's not stopping them from maybe doing Lethal Weapon 5.
Good job.
He's read the script. I want to hear your opinions on this. Don, Lethal Weapon 5, what do you got?
I'm on board, baby. Let's do it. I want Lethal Weapon 5 all day.
I'm not
excited for this. Lethal Weapon 4 is the best one of the whole bunch, so let's go with 5. Let's do it.
Okay. Number 1, number 2, 3 was destroyed. 4 was a little better than number 3, but I think number 4 could do well because, maybe we're going to have some race issues with this time with the Merton Riggs. Let's see that. Let's have some fun. Let's underline racism.
I love Lethal Weapon. I thought the TV show that they just did in the last couple of years was great. I had an awesome time with that. It sucks that dude got himself fired, but then Sean William Scott came in. And he did a great job in there as well too. So I really, really dug the show. Huh?
And then once he came in, Damon Wayans was like, I want to get out now.
Yeah, but it was great. And I would love to see a 5. Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, if they get the money and they got the good script, they came out with Bad Boys for Life. So if they could do that one, they could do a good Lethal.
Lethal Weapon 5 till death. The video game Fallout has a TV show in the works over at Amazon. I think that could be a good show, a good little another universe there. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in talks for The Boys season 3. What do you guys think about this? I mean, obviously he's been on Walking Dead recently. He's had stints on Supernatural and Grey's Anatomy, and amongst all the other movies he's done. I think he could fit in pretty well here.
He's Mr. Thomas Wayne in my book, if you want to cast him still in Flashpoint. But yeah, I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I think he's a great actor. He's a great character actor. Bring him in, and let's see what else he can do. Maybe he could be an evil guy with powers. If that's the case, let's do it. I'm ready. So far, now you're brightening my day. You're brightening my day, Jordan.
Well,
Yeah, I
let
think
me
it'd
tell you something, brother. I got one more big news, and that's Chris Hemsworth is reporting.
Hey, we're talking about Jeffrey D. Morgan over here. I didn't get to speak my mind.
Brother.
Why don't you calm yourself down over there, Mr. Hemsworth? That news is like 2 years old. I don't know why you're acting like it's new. So anyway, Jeffrey D. Morgan on The Boys would be fantastic. The Boys will be the #1 show of 2020 when we're done. So too bad we did this list now and not in a couple months, because that new trailer dropped and it looks fantastic. I cannot wait for The Boys season 2. But yeah, Jordan's got some old news for you right now that he's going to talk about. Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother. It's not old news. It's new news. It's just about how he's really bulking up.
That's the news? Of course he's bulking up. He's playing Hulk Hogan.
Well, okay, but if you let me finish, he's bulking up more than he did for Thor.
No shit. Hulk Hogan's bigger than Thor. Come on.
I just wanted to talk about Hemsworth as Hogan. That's
go
all.
ahead. You go right ahead. Talk about Hemsworth as Hogan, because I don't know if this might be a big career mistake for him, to be honest with you.
I just want to see the haircut.
I do too. Is he going to be bald on top? I mean, is he going to really go method?
Well, guys, it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Don, Dutch, do you guys have any news or notables you'd like to bring to the table?
I got
everything else you need.
No, I actually have something. I actually was very upset with this news, but I can see why. Season 4 of Sabrina will be the last of Sabrina on Netflix. They decided that they weren't going to go any further. But again, I guess you could see in the approval ratings from, if you were to look at the Rotten Tomato scales and all that stuff, even critics, even though the critics have said it, but the audience has said that, they're getting tired of it. I think they're very good stories. There's never one storyline, not one episode that is really just, to me, filler. It just tightens the stories even more that they tell. It's a good show. It's a shame that they're getting rid of it, but I can't wait to see what they bring to us for this final season, and I think it's already been filmed, so I can't wait to how it goes. I didn't get that from I Am on the Air. I got that just from reading other things today.
Yeah, that news broke after my last episode, so that news will be on the next episode of Am I on the Air?
But you heard it here first, people.
That was just a special preview for next week's episode.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. So anything else?
So, Don.
Huh?
You got anything?
I'm good.
He's got a podcast called I Am on the Air, and, he's also the undefeated champion of a show about
trivia. Definitely go check that out. Watch our match, me versus Dutch. Check it out, brand new. Just hit YouTube a couple days ago. So go check that out. And then if we're wrapping up and we're doing shout outs, check out amiontheair.com. Check it out. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podchaser, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, your whole nine. And listen and support and check it out. All your latest and greatest entertainment news, television, movies, reviews. Right there. At Am I on the Air? Give us a follow.
And Dutch's video just went out. Oh, it's back. And
it was like credits. He was on the credits roll.
On YouTube, it'll be up here pretty soon on Spotify and all those other fun things that Don said. I forget all the names. There's too many of them. Dutch, anything you want to say?
No, I just wish everybody being safe during these times again. And we can only implore, please wear a mask when you're out in public. I always do. So I know people get tired of hearing it,
I
but
am tired of you.
I'm like your old grandfather with some sage advice. Wear a mask. Just wear a mask. Thank you.
I had to get political towards the end, didn't you, Dutch?
It's not political. It's a
Oh,
complete
man.
safety. It's for everybody. It's for everybody's
All
safety.
right. Well, that was Dutch McAllister, Don Mega, and me, Dave Jordan Owen, saying thank you for watching or listening to the show about shows. Hi, I'm Dave.
Good night.